Thank you.
Craig, Jim, thank you very much. Obviously, this trial, more than just a criminal trial, you've got the political aspect of it all. You have a president convicted of a felony crime for the first time ever in our nation's history. So to talk more about that, it's Dr. Brian Anderson. He's joining me this afternoon. You're a professor of political science at MUW. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about the political aspect of this trial. There's an election coming up, and it's a big election. Kind of what do you expect from now until then?
Honestly, I don't expect it to be that much different than it was before, because this series of verdicts will fit into the outrage message that Trump has been using since he became a candidate way back in 2015. And he will simply slot this in a way that charges up his base. And the key, as we move toward November ever so slowly, is will this make an impact on people in the middle who might be swayed one way or the other? So we have to see if it has any traction in that way.
I mean, that is kind of the big thing right now. Is it going to help him, or is it going to hurt him?
Right. Initially, it will hurt. And if he just lashes out left and right, I think people might see him just being somebody who can't understand that this trial was above board, and that there wasn't Joe Biden in background pulling strings, but you see already the governor of Mississippi saying that this is a Joe Biden operation. And so that, of course, is a base message. The people in the middle, that's critical, but it's actually a fairly small, nowadays, percentage of the voting public, and we have to see if they are so inspired to move one way or the other, or they might just decide this is just a whole bunch of slime and we need to not have anything to do with this and let's just disengage.
As a political science professor sitting back and watching all of this unfold, this is a historic day. I mean, what's your take on all of this?
Well, it's sadly historic. I mean, and there are other trials. We know there are 3 other trials that are moving toward their court dates. And so what this does, especially to younger generations, as far as understanding how we make democracy work, is so much damage. And as an educator, and all the way down to the elementary level, we have to go into the classroom and hopefully try to undo some of that damage if we even can.
What do you tell your students?
Well, lately I've been telling them, like many of the experts say, is focus on local politics, because that's where change can be most concrete and most rewarding in terms of working together. Because once you get up to the national level, it's like this. It's allegations, conspiracies, and lots of claims that really have no evidence behind it.
That's some good advice. Dr. Anderson, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll have more coverage on the verdict from former President Donald Trump's trial coming up as WTVA 9 News at 6 continues.